Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. And today I've been looking at a lot of journaling books out there, and I sort of want to try something different. And but anyway, we'll get into it and I'll talk as we go. And I decided to call this Vignettes after I started going through my journal and everything, and I said, you know, that's what I'm actually creating, little vignettes on a page. So, but anyway, when I started this journal, I actually started doodling. And I had done somewhat, and I thought, well, you know, I'll just make this into a little art journaling journal. And I thought it was ironic that I had actually put that word changing there, and that's, you know, you just want to change. And actually this here was my first page, and I had actually went to Joann's Crafts and bought a whole lot of Tim Holtz, bunch of Tim Holtz ideology. The one that had the field notes had 134 pieces. And I got two of those. I think they was running a sale. And then I got the stamps, the one that looks like the brick and the rock and the mushrooms. I got this one. It had a whole lot in it. It's a bunch. I didn't even know what to do with it when I got home, but I got this one with some vintage paper and the vintage flowers, and this one with the stencils, and then the botanical. And wow, it just filled. I just put it in a drawer. Actually, you all, actually, I'll show you here. Actually, if you all can see it, I had in a previous video, I'll try to get it over here a little more if I can. In a previous video, I had showed everyone my craft room tour. And just below my desk was an IKEA rolling cart. And at first I had started putting everything in like a photo album with the clear sleeves, and I was going to do butterflies, this and this, and that really wasn't working out for me. I just couldn't see everything. I wanted to see not only the flowers, and see, I can roll this as far forward as I like. Over here's like the cards, but I mean, I want to see flowers, mushrooms, butterflies all at one time, because I may want pink or I may want green, and I don't want to say, okay, I'm going to pick out a green butterfly, a this and a this. This way I can see it all, and I can just sort of shuffle it around and look for something green or something pink. And that might look messy to you all, but to me, that's much better to me. I mean, it's just all right there, and I can pick it out real easily. But anyway, okay, so anyway, this was my first page that I actually done, and I was just actually throwing a bunch of Dilutions inks on here, and I took, you know, I got several block stamps, one with music that I've been using, and I really was just putting a little bit of everything on one page to see how I liked it. And then I sort of kind of got away from it. Some of them are still with the little cutouts, but then I started saying, well, I was watching other people's channels, and how they were doing, and I started taking off all kind of different directions. This one here, these little flowers here are with my punch, and the rest, this one here is one of the little Tim Holtz stamps of the little words. I was just now trying to find it for you all, but oh, here it is. And I've been using this a whole lot through this journal. But that's the words. And this here was some kind of like Delusions, but it wasn't Delusions. It's purple background, and it's really thick, and I just thought I'd squirt it on there. This here was kind of the route I was going. This here is like a big 12 by 12 sheet, and I just cut it up, and these here are Tim Holtz and the little mushroom. And this was just I use a lot of the little cheap Craft Smart paint, and I just spreaded that in the background. And this here was some of you know, when you're spraying ink on your book, you put a piece of paper on the background. Well, I just tore off a piece of that for my background, and then put the washi tape. And this is a magazine article. And if you know me, I love to cut out any like writing I might see. Cursive is better. And I got this out of a magazine. And then here I took the block. Again, over here the block stamp, and these here was the Tim Holtz. You can see I've used it quite a bit. And then there actually comes like a little Tim Holtz coffee stain. And then here it is. I'm getting kind of back to how I journal in my big journal. And I just found some words, but I liked the background. It was like a darker background, so I just cut them out. They don't mean anything. I was just cutting them out to for graphics. This here, I used, I believe, these two Tim Holtz stamps. Got the dots. And magazine images. And actually this one here, yeah, I do use the archival ground espresso and black soot, but actually I took the stamp with the words on it, and I just went all the way down just to fill in the gaps. And that was a photo. Actually, I pick up the magazines from the stand at the grocery store, and it had a lot of great images in it. I believe that was an image from the grocery store too, from the magazine. I believe I just went and took this same stamp, just went sideways. This is just like a glue book image. I really like the city look background, and it was a gap right here, so I stuck her there. And like I said, kind of getting back to, I like to use like one focal point, usually a model. I love to cut out letters out of the magazines. These were just some of my flower stamps, which I have 4 different types of these. And again, this here is my 12 by 12 scrap paper. Here's a whole gap of pages. That's why I got the little clippy on it. This one here, I took the lighter and went over it. Just went all the way down. Once again, I love using this stamp. I guess you can all see that. And I just stamp all the way down. Just looks more like you were journaling. This one here, for you all that I know get these magazines, I just found these levels. And at first I just put the levels on here for graphics, and I said that's not enough, and I added the bird, then I added the leaf, then I added the word. It still wasn't enough, so I added the bicycle, and then I said it still wasn't enough, so I added the orange. And this was a matte background out of the grocery store magazine, and I believe this was too. Here's the Tim Holtz vellum paper that I've had for a while. More of what was in my desk here. Now this here, I got a if I can, oh, here it is. I got this at a I think maybe at a thrift store, maybe Goodwill, I don't know, but I've already taken a bunch of pages, but I love the colors. And I've already took a lot of pages out of here for this book and for my other journal. And this is the Dilutions background. That was out of that book over there. This was out of the grocery store magazine, the Tim Holtz. I just spray inked it and went all the way down with the stamp again. I love that image, so I used it again. I'd actually just put the purple door on here with this and this, and said it wasn't enough, so I stuck this green base on there. I love the colors in these two pages. Once again, that's 12 by 12 scrap paper. And I had a lot of purple things, so, you know, when I go to journal in my big book, I'll take this book and turn it over to mop up the excess ink so I don't waste it. And then I use the purple. Once again, I used the purple stamp and just went all the way down. I believe these over here are poppy seed muffins, and they was on this bacon rack. Just like the colors in these items. I love to use little items that come out of HGTV magazine and I think Good Housekeeping. These I might add more stuff around, but for right now I'm good with it. HGTV magazine. Y'all seen this before on my Instagram page, sandyso_arty. This here image was actually from a calendar. Sometimes if you want certain things, like if you want lighthouses or flowers or something like that, I tried buying a flower magazine, but that just didn't work out for me. It wasn't enough flowers in it, so I went and got, you can go to the dollar store and get calendars with specific things, like if you like flowers. This one here, I just like the graphics of the words, and it was yellow, and that's how that turned out. It don't mean anything, it's just the graphics. And this here 2 pages was what I had intentionally went for in this book. I was intentionally to make the whole book to look like this, but I kind of veered off. Tim Holtz. My stamps, the flower stamps and the coffee stain stamps all over. And this was the book, the calendar. Let's see if I can show you guys. I got this big book, calendar at I'm trying to think of the name. One of those little off stores. I'll think of it here in a minute, but I found this to be much better than the floral magazine. Oh, it was Ollie's. That's what it was, Ollie's. And now's a good time to buy calendars really cheap, because they're no longer selling that well right now. And I actually stuck the bottles in the background, and I really like the colors of them, and I said, okay, that's not enough, so I stuck the 2 glasses on, then I stuck the table, and these 2 objects, and these words, I said they go with my page, and I just kept adding to it. And then I started getting out my old dictionary. And this here, if some of you were following me, the Bali book that I had, I'm still pulling some images out of that. And some of the littler images that were too little for my big journal. I think this was a perfume ad. That was one of the Tim Holtz vintage flower figures. Another page that I mopped up out of the other one, and with that stamp again all the way down. I had a bunch of purple things, and I said, well, sorry guys if that wasn't in view. A bunch of purple things, and I just thought I'd just stick all of them on there. I think this here was a hair dryer or something. And I just like the graphics of it, so I'll put that flower on it. Scrap paper. This here was just a bunch of scrap paper, and I said I'm not even going to alter the scrap paper, I'm just going to stick it on here. This one here, yes, it does look like it needs a little something like the words all the way down, but I've yet to do that. And this came out of the grocery store book. It said, "What good is the warmth of summer without the cold of winter to give it the sweetness?" And that was by John Steinbeck. Then out of the dictionary, spring onions with some foliage. Words really don't mean anything, just there for the graphics. Some more HGTV images. There you have it, guys. Thank you for watching. Hope you'll subscribe. See you tomorrow.